Thank you for tuning into the Northern Miner, recording at the AME's annual Roundup event in Vancouver. Joining me now is AME President Kirit Jutla. Thank you very much for making time to join us.
Thanks so much for having me, Henry, as always.
Yeah, alrighty. So let's start by reflecting back over the past 12 months a little bit. What were some of the key trends, some of the key figures you can share with us?
A lot of great work, a lot of great collaboration, a lot of great work with government to getting together and working on some key legislation. But also, I think we've seen such an increase in interest in British Columbia in mineral exploration and capital investment. Even though investment dropped 14% from 643 million to 552, we are starting to see a resurgence in that investment as people are seeing more certainty in the regulatory regime. So I'm really excited and optimistic, in this next year that people are looking at BC as a mineral exploration global hub. So we're excited for what the next year has to unfold.
So are you suggesting that investor confidence is in fact increasing in British Columbia?
I think so. When, with the government establishing a separate mines ministry, and with, the minister coming out and government saying, look, we're committed to permitting timelines, we're committed to mineral exploration, we're committed to mining, we want to, and, explicitly saying, we want to see fixed timelines. That is exactly what a lot of investors were looking for, right? They were wondering, okay, what can they expect in BC with regulatory certainty? They've gotten that message loud and clear that BC is a place to invest. BC is a mining and mineral exploration hub. So that's what we're now seeing, some more of that great investment, energy, and optimism. So I'm excited. All
right, that's a good starting point. Today is the inauguration of Donald Trump in America for the second term. In your mind, what are some of the key thoughts regarding his aggressive rhetoric about tariffs, trade restrictions? How would that flow through to the exploration and mining sector in BC?
Look, we need each other, right? We rely on each other. We need to work together. We need to collaborate to have a strong partnership to ensure we have a mutually beneficial industry. Look, there's so many AME members who operate and work in the United States and back and forth, right? I think with respect to the rhetoric around tariffs, let's see what the next few months show if how serious those are. I think that there's going to be some important conversations on how we restructure some of our trade processes as well. But listen, the best way we can insulate from any type of potential tariffs is ensuring that we have a strong natural resource and mining economy here, right? So the more we're permitting, the more we're supporting our industries here, the more we can isolate from potential tariffs elsewhere.
All right. Just a few moments ago, you mentioned that increased regulatory certainty may be contributing to the improving investor climate in BC. Could you point out specifics about those regulatory improvements that you might be referring to?
Right. This past year, we worked really closely with the government on the claim staking system that has to be done for March 26th, 2025, right? And I think...
So that's to do with the Mineral Tenure Act.
Mineral Tenure Act. And one of the things that I think is really important to note is that we did a lot of work, a lot of advocacy, communicated with over 5,000 members to say, look, what are your needs? How would this work? And government listened, right? We went from something that was outside of the court decision, or a consent standard, to coming back to, all right, let's have a consultation standard, let's make it work. Now we just got to put in the work together to build it. But I think seeing that type of commitment and acknowledgement and that genuine response from government saying, okay, industry, you're providing us with this advice and input and collaboration, we're listening. That's where I think a lot of the investors are looking at saying, okay, if there is responsive, we are getting some more certainty on Mineral Tenure Act and staking. So now I'm excited for how we can refine that and make it even more clear and certain.
All right. Would you say the government has, in the past 12 months or so, become more responsive? Because in my mind, at least, it appeared as if the government seemed to be quite unresponsive and also a little bit prone to making decisions behind closed doors, and the industry only finds out after the decision has been made public. How do you think about that?
I can't comment on what how government is or isn't doing some of their processes, but what I can tell you is yes, in the last year there was a lot of uncertainty that came out after the Land Act amendments and some other key items, but with the last provincial election, I think it was a very clear signal that look, we need more inclusion and we need more certainty because this industry, mineral exploration and mining, is the backbone of our economy, right? Like it puts food on the table, it puts Christmas presents underneath the tree, and now government in the last 3 months has really understood that. New ministry, new approach, strong forged relationships, and now we just got to keep that work going to manifest things that are essential for us. So yeah, there's progress, but we always have to ensure that we're continuing that progress moving forward.
Would you say British Columbia, which is said to have tremendous resources of critical minerals, which is so relevant in today's political conversations, would you say enough is being done government-wise or industry-wise to really promote BC's potential to the outside world?
We can and should always be doing more, right? I think that we need to continue to do that great job to promote in Canada and internationally that BC is a mineral exploration and mining hub. We have the best standards, we have the best talent and practices, so we are that model that others can look to and adopt standards instead of vice versa, right? So we have to always make sure that we're not adding additional layers on systems that are already working, right? And I think people are starting to understand that, and it's showing itself in now some of these more accurate standards and some of these permits that are going through.
Yeah, so would you say the British Columbia exploration and mining industry are really cheerleaders, if you will, for reconciliation and for making things right with Indigenous groups?
Listen, you're not going to get a project moving forward unless you have a good respect-based relationship with the Indigenous nation, right? And the earlier you do that, the better. Look, we have some of the most amazing projects with nations, including Skeena Resources, Seabridge, Teck, Newmont, who are doing major mining operations in the Tahltan territory, but all across the province, Imperial with Williams Lake Nation, out in the Kootenays, out in Northeast. So all through BC, our members from staking to prospecting to drilling are working together with nations on how can we do this together? How can we make it a mutual benefit? And that's the only way that we're going to be able to realize this mineral exploration economy. We either learn to compromise or our collective future will be compromised in this industry. So I think that's the thing. We are that key leader in how we can do it. It's going to take a lot more work, but that's what we're excited to commit to.
All right. What are any other potential trends and topics on your desk that you'll be attending to over the next 12 months that we have not discussed yet?
There's been some amazing progress and discoveries recently, like A-Mark with an incredible find that was announced in the last few days. I'm going to be out at PDAC as well in March. Before that, I'm actually going to be in Miami for one of the Resourcing Tomorrow conferences. I'm going to be traveling the United States as well. So I'm going to be on the road quite a bit now, continuing to champion BC and Canada. And I'm looking forward to, I think, great conversations and great traction that we can continue to advance our industry.
Excellent. And then lastly, let me just ask you, do you have any updated info available about the Roundup event where we're at right now? How many attendees do we have registered? And do you have a possible breakdown of how many new people are attending?
This has been one of our most well-attended roundups in the last 10, 15 years. Last year, we had 1,200 kids who attended Discovery Day, which is the day before Roundup. This year we had 2,500. Wow. We doubled the space and it was still packed. So listen, what we're messaging and what we're communicating, which is truly based on how important this economy is, it's resonating. People are understanding, people are interested and are passionate about this natural resource economy. All of our exhibit booths were sold out. I think we're at 7,000 attendees here. So listen, people want to work in and support mineral exploration and mining. So let's keep supporting that backbone of our economy, that reconciliation driver. that thing that brings people together. So I'm excited. It's been amazing so far, and we got some more days to go.
Excellent. All right, there you have it. AME President Kirit Jutla.